Hello, and thank you for taking the time to take a look at the opportunity in the mortgage protection industry. This is Matthew Rutledge, the Senior Regional Manager over the Rutledge Agency. What we're going to do today is take a few minutes and describe to you what the position entails. Then we're also going to talk about who we are for a few moments, and then we'll also describe the type of person that we're looking for and how to move forward. Like I said, my name is Matthew Rutledge, and my wife Amber Rutledge helps us a little bit in the back office. So she's part of the regional manager team. You won't hear a lot from her. You will normally see her at conventions. However, currently we're expecting our fourth child. So this upcoming conference in August for 2018, you will not see her there. But it's an exciting time for us, and we wanted to tell you a little bit about us. So again, like I said, we're expecting our fourth child. Currently, we have three that are 7 years old and younger, and basically, we just want you to know, a little bit about who we are and the character that we have. So let's talk a little bit about how I've gotten to where we are. So in 2005, I joined the Army, and I was a Special Forces candidate. And as I joined the Army and went through that program, some things came up where I actually did not qualify to continue. And so I defaulted back to an airborne infantryman with the 173rd Airborne Brigade. And at that point, I deployed to Afghanistan with them. And in the meantime, I did almost die twice while I was there. So, with life, I take a look at life and I really don't take anything too seriously. But there is one thing that you can hold as a guarantee that I will hold this opportunity for me and for you very seriously, because I do understand that if you decide to join our team, that your livelihood and maybe even a supplement of your income is counting on the expertise and the knowledge that I have that can transfer to you. So after I got out of active duty Army, I moved forward to the corporate world, in which after I moved forward to the corporate world, I just realized that their best interests were not the same as mine. I got passed over for promotions a couple of times due to networking. And after I left there, I decided to look in other directions. So what I did was I found an insurance ad by Nick and Cindy Theodore, who are our marketing directors. And Nick was just so punctual. He just shared the opportunity with me and just showed that this was a fair opportunity to make a good living. So after I answered their ad, I decided to join up with them back in 2015. And we really haven't looked back, but I joined Nick and Cindy on my own originally, actually with Amber being a little against it. And so through time, I've just worked really hard, and then eventually she decided to partner with me, and now she's partially a stay-at-home mom, plus she helps out with the business. Well, so now that you know a little bit more about us, I want to give a little bit more description as to what the position is. Okay, mortgage protection. Well, what is that? Well, I don't know if you know this or not, but did you know that in the United States, every single day there are 3,000 homes that are foreclosed on? And approximately 50% of those could be prevented with a mortgage protection policy. Well, that's because what happens is families feel like they have enough life insurance, and life insurance is great because upon a death, it gives you a lump sum of cash. Problem is they a regular life insurance policy does not give you cash upon the fact of a disability that comes along. Well, that's what mortgage protection is. Mortgage protection is a policy that gives you a lump sum of money, even while you may still even be alive, that will help you protect your home from being foreclosed on. So now that we know a little bit more about mortgage protection, how do we go about being qualified in order to sell this protection to families? Well, you must have a life insurance license in the resident state that you live in other words, the state that you're registered to vote. You must also be a U.S. citizen and be of the age of 18 years old. And also, you cannot have any major felony convictions on your record. Okay, so that was a little bit of the qualifications. Now let's talk about how much it costs in order to get licensed. So after our interview, we'll send you some information on a study course. Okay, the study course costs about 50 bucks. So this is a great deal because some of the in-class courses can even cost up to $500 for the course. Okay, now we do expect you to have this completed in about 10 business days, along with getting ready to take your state exam shortly after that. Now the state exam costs about $100 to $150, just depending on what state that you live in. Okay, now once you've completed your state exam again, we're wanting you to finish that in about 14 days from our interview. Then you'll want to apply and do your fingerprinting for your state to do the background check. And that generally takes about 7 to 10 days to do that process. So it's about $100 just depending on what state that you live in. So altogether, you're looking at somewhere right around 3 weeks to get fully licensed. Okay. Now, once you're licensed, you'll want to go forward and get your air and emissions insurance. There's two different ways to do this. The first way is about $100 down and somewhere around $30 a month, or the second way is to just pay it in full, which is roughly about $450 annually, and that's the choice that we go with. What this covers is just in case if there's anything omitted on the policies and the applications when you turn them in. So now that we're done figuring out how to get licensed, let's see why mortgage protection is better than life insurance. Okay, mortgage protection shows here protects in the case of a death, a disability, or an illness, whereas a life insurance policy only pays out upon a certified death. That's where someone passes away, you get a certificate of death, you turn it into the claims department, and they'll send you a check. Mortgage protection differs from that because you actually don't even need a medical exam to purchase mortgage protection, whereas with most life insurance policies, you have to have a nurse come over, draw blood, do a urinalysis, height, weight, and this, that, and the other. With mortgage protection, all you'll have to do is a medical background check, meaning they will check your prescriptions plus any procedures that you've had in the past. Okay? Mortgage protection pays if you become terminally ill, which is you have 12 months or less to live, critically or chronically ill, which is if you get diagnosed with a stroke, have a heart attack, get diagnosed with cancer, or if you lose 2 of 6 daily living functions. Now, what this protection policy does is it gives you money if you become disabled and you can't go back to work. So that's a little bit about how mortgage protection differs from life insurance. So that was the differences between mortgage protection and life insurance. Let's look more into mortgage protection. This will pay you a lump sum of money or give you an amount so you can make mortgage payments towards your finance loan company in order to make sure that you do not straight out lose your home. Okay? It will pay out up to a certain percentage of of your face value if you become terminally, critically, or chronically ill, which is called living benefits. This is to help you not become one of those 3,000 a day that end up losing their home due to an illness of some kind. So there's a couple things about mortgage protection. That's what mortgage protection is. Now let's talk about the business side and how it's going to benefit you. Okay. The first thing we want to talk about is how we get paid. All right. We'll cover how we directly get paid, who's going to train you, and the different events that you will need to go to, who you sell for and the companies that we represent, and who we sell to. And we got to have clients in order to sell to, and that's what we want to talk about in the fourth part. So let's talk a little bit about how we get paid. Okay, so our contracts go anywhere from 70% up to 120%. We start everybody off at 70% and give everybody a fair shot. Now, 70% is a contract where our main mortgage protection products, if the client qualifies for that, you will get paid at a 70% contract level. Okay, so let's do an example. Average policies with us is about $100 a month. All right, so what companies, the insurance carriers do is they annualize the premium. So they take that $100 and they times it by 12 to annualize it, which equals $1,200. Now, this is how your pay happens when you first start off. Okay, they take that $1,200 and times it by your contract level, or the contract level for the product that you write, which is in this case 0.7 or times 70%, which equals $840 of annual amount that you should make off this product for the first year of it. Now, what they do with that $840 is they times it by 9 months or 9 months advance if that's what you sign up for 75% of the advance money. Now, that will pay you $630 up front. So if we take out a policy on Monday, the client pays on it on Tuesday, then you get paid on Wednesday, in this scenario, $630. Now you say, okay, well, when does the rest of the money come from? Where's the rest of the $210 go? Well, in months 10, 11, and 12, you'll get $70 per month. Okay, so if we write one in March, you'll get $70 in December, $70 in January, and $70 in February. Okay, there's a couple other ways that we do get paid. We get paid in renewals, overrides, and bonuses as well. We'll talk about those here in just a few minutes. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about who's going to train you. Well, first of all, I will. I will be directly responsible for making sure that you're successful, and I want to make sure that I have hands-on because I want to make sure that I know for sure I've taught you everything that I know. And then if you fail out, well, it's all simply because of the fact that you're not following the system in some way. Now, I will make sure that we take due diligence and make sure that we've given you everything we need to do. If we feel like there's a little bit further need, then we'll get Nick on the phone and have him help out as well. Okay, so on the right hand side, that's where the websites and apps are that you would have access to help you along with your training as well. So that's pretty much who will train you. We'll talk a little bit later about some of the training events that you'll get to as well. Okay, so let's talk about those meetings a little bit. We have sales trainings and we have quick start meetings. Okay, the sales trainings are hosted by the regional managers of the company, and we expect that you should go to any of these that are within 4 to 6 hours from you. All right, they're completely free to go to. The regional managers host these, and they generally go over how to make phone calls and how to run a good schedule. Any of the quick start meetings are hosted by two of the owners of the company, Rob Jones and Bill Martin, and sometimes Barry Clarkson, the CEO and president, and one of the owners does attend these as well, and they are also free. And we expect you to attend any of those that are within 6 to 8 hours. Now let's talk about the meetings a little bit. Now we keep saying expected because we can't make them mandatory, but I can pretty much tell you that if you do not attend these, that you will not be successful because we have not seen anybody not attending meetings who is successful here with us. Okay, so just make sure that you put it on your calendars. Those are under the events tab on your Equus Financial dashboard once you become a part of us. Now, let's talk about National Convention, okay? National Convention, we have two of these every year, normally one in the winter and one in the summer. It's a 2.5-day event where you have general sessions and breakouts to get you in front of the top agents and top agency managers, okay? Let's talk about why I say these are important. Well, if you go to college and you spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to go, you generally get out and you make about $50,000 a year, in which you're still for about 7 to 8 years you're trying to pay off your student loans. Well, we ask you to come to these national conventions, and they cost $179 to $189, and we can't guarantee anything, but we can tell you if you work hard, you're guaranteed to make anywhere from $60,000 to $100,000. Of course, that's a big range because it all depends on how hard you work. But if you definitely don't come to these, then you can be assured that pretty much we won't work with you if you don't come to these. Again, we can't make them mandatory, but we can guarantee your success if you do come to these and you follow everything within the system. Okay, so let's talk about who you sell for. So who we sell for are some of the highest A+ rated companies, AM Best rated companies that there are on the market. Some to name a few that you would know would be Columbian Financial Group, Foresters Financial, Mutual of Omaha used to have their TV show. They run commercials, and Phoenix Home Life are some of the main brand companies that we use. What kind of products do they offer for us? Well, they have term products that run all the way up to age 80. Okay, actually at some point they cap out at age 85 for a few of them, but we say 80 because that's our mainstream. What's nice with these companies is they are non-medical exam companies. So again, it's all in that medical history and the prescriptions from previous. So You know what's nice is they also offer universal life products that also run up to age 75. Again, with the no medical examination, no drawing blood, no urinalysis, different things like that. And then the last one is the whole life and guaranteed issue products that run up to age 85. Again, also on those non-medical appointments. I tell you, clients love the fact that there is no medical examination where they don't have to line up something else. But after you're finished with them, they love the fact that you know them personally and that it's going to go off of their medical history. I myself and my wife, we actually have a policy of each kind of these. So they're actually so good that even as an agent, you'll believe in them so much that you'll purchase them for yourself. Okay, so let's talk about who we sell to. All right. Technically, you can sell to anyone in the United States that you have a license in. Okay, so just to get, for instance, Florida. Let's just say if you live in Florida, you have a Florida license. Well, guess what? You can sell them to anyone in Florida for life insurance. Okay. However, that's the old school of life insurance, right? We don't do the door-to-door sales anymore. Let's talk about actually running a business. Well, running a business with leads makes it so much simpler because it's a opportunity to speak with someone who is actually interested in hearing the information that you have. You're not having to create the interest. Now, we have exclusive leads that are brand new leads from Equus Financial that start off at $41 per lead. These are exclusive leads from people who have just filled out the form, sent it in to you, and said, yes, I'm interested. Okay, that means they took the time to take this out, read it, fill it out, then stick it back in an envelope, walk it out to the mailbox, and send it to you. I'd say that's an interested person, right? Okay, so you're saying, well, Matt, not everybody has $41 to start this thing off. You're exactly right. So we do have historical leads that range anywhere from 50 cents up to $6 each. So in the beginning, you have to understand there's a couple things. You either have money and then you purchase the newer leads to save time and energy, or in the beginning, if you don't have a whole lot of money to invest, you're going to have to invest a lot of time and energy to get more money to then slowly make the transition to spend a little bit more money to give you that time and energy back. Okay. So what's nice with this though is that generally we can help you keep your expenses to about 12 to 25% roughly. So, last year I think our expenses were a total of around about 7% of our total income. Okay. So, okay. So a little bit earlier, we spoke about the different ways we can get paid. We said the original personal production, then we also said renewals, overrides, and bonuses. Well, there's actually something even more on top of that, incentives that you can get paid. One of the main ones is getting free cash from the carriers. Some of our carriers actually have production goals that if you hit it as a producer, they actually send you a check in the mail for produce certain levels of production. Okay. What's funny is we took the lead on that, or we took the follow up on that, and we said, hey, you know what? When we have agents hit certain production goals, why don't we also give them lead credit? That we got this from Nick and Cindy Theodore. And so when you hit certain levels of production or you meet certain incentive requirements, which we have listed on our websites, then you also get free lead credit to actually pay you out as well. Okay. So another about the bonuses now, Equus actually bonuses as well, and they bonus upon personal production. And you're kind of catching the trend here, I hope. And the manager's bonus, and there's also something called the equity bonus, and we're going to talk about that here in just a minute. Um, but what's nice is every year we actually have trip incentives as well, even some hosted by carriers directly. If you hit the certain production goals for the carriers, then they send you on a trip. But there's also one that's hosted by Equus Financial that if you hit a certain production goal, then you get to go on this trip as well. Now, these trips aren't just like a trip. It's an all-inclusive trip. They pay for your flights, they pay for your hotels, they pay for your food, they even, give you a certain little expenditure money. So, these trips are outrageously awesome and they're all inclusive. So you definitely want to make sure you get on one of these. Okay. So here's the incentive that we were talking about just a second ago, the equity bonus. If you decide that you want to build a group with us and you really aspire to be one of the top agencies here, there's something that is called the equity bonus, which is something that sets Equus Financial apart from anyone else in this industry. The way that this works is you break out as an agency manager, okay? And then you find somebody that comes up in your group, and you see that they have a real entrepreneurial mindset and they want to break out as an agency manager as well. Well, once you've developed them and you've trained them, and your total group is issue paying over $175,000 with qualified paid production, and you do promote that one qualified person to regional manager, and they break out as an agency manager, then you get access to equity bonus. Generally, this takes about 2 years. Okay, it's about a 2-year track. But once you qualify for the first tier equity bonus, this means that you get a percentage of the entire company's volume of production. So as you see the example there, let's talk about that. If the company is producing $4 million a month, at the first tier of the equity bonus, you get 0.25%, which is $10,000 a month in bonus. If you have 3 regional managers that break out, then you have $20,000 worth of bonus. And if you have 5 direct regional managers, people that you have personally developed, then you'll get a 0.75% of a bonus. Now, on the run rate of $4 million a month, that's $10, $20, and $30,000. Now, you don't get them cumulatively; it's each level. So once you hit 1 regional manager, you get the first level. 3 regional managers, you get that bonus, and then third is the third bonus. But if you think about it, once you get to that third tier, that's $30,000 a month in just bonus, which means that you actually get $360,000 a year in just bonus money, not including your override or any personal production that you do. I mean, you're talking about earning $1 million just from this in 4 years. So it's something that will definitely open the eyes of people in this industry, and it's definitely something that sets us apart. Okay, so let's talk about building an agency a little bit. All right, if you're aspiring to be a manager, you want to make some good residual money. First thing you need to know is that this is not a multi-level marketing company, okay? We do not need you to go out and recruit for us or bring people on board. All right, we're very selective with who we want doing that, and we don't want people thinking that this is just some sort of get-rich-quick thing. It does take some hard work and some hours put in order to become an agency manager. Now, we're also not going to ask for a list of people from you because, like we said, this is not a network marketing thing either. All right. Now, what we do want is for you to go out and make yourself profitable. And then if there's people in your warm center of influence and they want to come on board as well, then we'll help bring them on board. What's nice about our company is that we do not charge people to run an agency here. Some companies make you or force you to host meetings, or they charge you for leads in certain areas. But we do not make you spend money in areas that you do not feel comfortable in spending money in. But what we will ask you to do is prove to us that you can produce and show that you will be able to train these new agents that you're bringing on board. We want you to be profitable so that way you can teach other people how to be profitable. Now, this business isn't for everybody, okay? So just be aware that, you're going to talk to people and they're not going to think that this is a viable business. However, here in just a moment, we'll show you how it was viable for us. Now, we aren't captive, okay? So we're not captive. So if you come in, this is a very mature relationship. If you decide that you don't want to be here, we'll shake your hand and wish you the best of luck and tell you to go forward in your endeavors. Now, if you are recruiting in our hierarchy, you must go to all meetings, okay? Earlier we said it was mandatory for agents. However, if you're building an agency with us, we do want you to go to all meetings that are within a 6-hour radius of you, okay? Okay, so why the Rutledge Group? Well, last year in 2017, we were the number 8 agency out of 25 agencies here at Equus Financial. We helped train 70 agents that sold and processed over $895,000, and for that, we were bonused about $60,000. And a little bit earlier, we talked about our top agent. Our top agent last year, he gross incomed $98,000. That kind of sounded funny with the gross income, but he made about $98,000 last year. And also he received free leads in the amount of $10,623.50. So really he earned a little over $108,000, in which again, like we were talking about earlier in the tickets and coming to conference, I don't know anywhere where you can spend $189 dollars and come out making 108,000 dollars in income. We do know what we're talking about, so that's why I would say join the Rutledge group, and hopefully that you can tell that we really care about the people we work with and who you will become through working with us. Here's what we monitor. Okay, we're going to monitor your work ethic and your ego. We need somebody who's going to wake up every day, get to work, and they're not going to have to be inflated every day or motivated. Like we told you before, we're getting ready to have our fourth child this year. That does not mean that I do not care about your family as well, or that the fact that I want to spend time with your family, but I also want to spend time with my family as well. And so we will work diligently with you, but you're going to have a good work ethic, and you're going to have to come and check your ego at the door because you're going to have to be coachable as well. We need somebody that does not have an ego of 2 because you're going to be just too scared and too timid to go in front of people and talk to them. But we also don't want somebody who's going to be a 10 who thinks they know it all. You're going to have to be somewhere around about a 7 or 8. You're going to have a little bit of swagger because you're going to be pulling out delicate information from these people and asking for money before you leave. Okay, so what we want to do is we need somebody who's coachable, kind of like Tiger Woods, that big old national champion guy, but yet he's still got a swing coach to get him back in his game, right? So we need you to have about a 7 to 8 ego. All right, here's what's next. Line up your interview, be professional, and we will check how you respond, okay? We want you to make sure that you're not typing in all caps letters, or if you do type in all caps letters, you're going to use the code phrase that I'm going to give you here in just a second. But we want to move forward with somebody who is going to be professional, who's going to do the right things, dot all their I's, cross all their T's. Here's what you do. You text me at 678-687-4289. That's 678-687-4289. And what I want to see is I am a winner. Nothing else. Just say I am a winner, and I will text you back and line up an interview. But I look forward to working with you, and thank you very much.